Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. And this is our ongoing meditation session. So let me get connected with our other students and then we ready to start the session for today. Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. And keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to understand how this practice will help for us to develop our spiritual path. So when it comes to our life, you have to remember the very Success happen out of the growth. Development happen out of the growth. You have to grow. So when you grow, it always bring the change. So out of this whole practice, how you can measure it and how you can see it work for you, or you gain the result out of practice. It's you have to see your own change. If you can't see the change, that's mean that practice or whatever you learn or whatever you develop doesn't work. So then the change always should happen towards something more better way, to be more higher, not go towards lower level. And for that, there are few things we have to practice. There are few things that we have to bring it to our life. It's a method when it comes to personal growth, personal development. And you have to remember, it doesn't matter you think about it or not. It doesn't matter you plan it or not. It doesn't matter you learn it or not. It doesn't matter you practice it or not. Somehow your life change. You can't stop it. But when you learn it, when you plan it, what you can do, you can get the best out of that change. And rather than going backward, when you develop yourself with that change, your life becomes more better and more clear. So out of that clarity, you gain more self-satisfaction. So self-satisfaction is a kind of like a foundation for your self-development. But the thing why it is important today, because most of time, when it comes to our personal life, rather than having the personal development or the personal confidence or personal satisfaction, so deeply ourselves, we are wounded people. We are more giving hard time to us. And we are more hard for us. Because of that hardness, it is very difficult for us to change. We go through pattern again and again and again and again. So another thing is that hardness not allow you to go through mistakes. Just imagine when it comes to life, right away, overnight, at the very first time, you may not going to become successful in your life. So if you're afraid for mistakes means you condition your mind yourself. So if you look very carefully, the Prince Siddhartha's life, look how many times when he looked for liberation or the Nibbana, he went through many steps. It not overnight happened. It didn't happen like that. It's not like the very first time he went to a teacher and learned from him. He didn't do like that. It didn't happen to him like that. But still he went through mistakes and he understood what are the mistakes, and then himself, he had the ability to came out of it. So this is something that we have to learn ourselves also. When it comes to our own life, if you look for your growth, then it is very important for you to have the ability to move forward rather than repeating the same thing, rather than being in the same place. So that doesn't mean this outside world. This means it is your inside, your inner nature. So you are the one who need to change. Your character needs to change. Deeply, your structure, your blueprint need to change. Otherwise, it keeps coming back to the same thing, same person, same thing, same person. So, and other mistakes, another one is the darkness. So you have to be comfortable with the darkness, and you have to know what is darkness, because it gives the idea about light. If you're afraid for darkness, if you're afraid for unknown things, if you're afraid for suffering, or if you're afraid for pain, you can't overcome it. And then you always withdraw your mind from the situations. So that's why when it comes to the Buddha's teaching, the very first level, what the Buddha said, the very true nature of life. So once you understand it, once you are capable to handle that, then you are not going to become miserable on the way, because now you are capable to handle the situation. Now you are know the very raw organic level of nature of life. So then yourself, you have to remember, when it comes to this life, if you want to develop yourself, if you look for the growth, always remember, be ready to change. Give up that deeper inside your personal structure. So for that, one of the important thing is you have to prepare for the change. Without preparation, if you move, then what will happen? So whatever according to the necessary conditions, sometimes you start to make mistakes. Maybe you start to become fearful and afraid, lazy, lack of energy. And because of that, when the situations come, you make mistakes. So the preparation gives the clarity when the situations come, when the turbulence happens, you are capable still to go through it. When the mistakes happens, the preparation will help you to handle the situation and go through the mistakes. That itself make you experienced person. But most of the time we have this nature, we think, oh, without preparation we can do things, but you can't have the growth, or you can't get the best out of it. Doing something and becoming better out of activities is two different things. So here what we talk about, how you can develop your life, grow yourself day by day, using your own life. So that's why the very first thing, preparation, mental preparation, physical preparation, and socially, economically, spiritually. So those are very important things. And the physical preparation is very necessary in a certain level. If you just imagine you want to practice meditation, if you are so sleepy, if you are so tired, you can't do it. And just imagine, forget about meditation in day-to-day life. If you are so tired, can you drive? If you are so tired, can you work? Because especially when you go to work, you are responsible for others. So then if you are so tired, how you can take that responsibility? So like that, when it comes to meditation, one of the important things before meditation, at least find a little time to rest yourself. Gain that physical comfort a little bit. That doesn't mean becoming lazy. But you have to have some certain kind of energy to handle this, go through this. And especially when it comes to mental practice, it needs so much energy. With the lack of energy, your mind is go to kind of like a drowsiness. You feel like drowsy, lazy, sleepy, lethargic, gloomy. So then look into that. And mental preparation is very important. This is the important part today. Because when it comes to us, most of time we prepare our life with the preconditioned mind. We condition things. It should be like this. It should be like this. So we have a mental structure already before we go forward. But the life not going to become like that way. So then don't go with the preconditioned mind. So then what you need, how you prepare with your mind, then you have to have the predetermination. So rather than having precondition from today, develop to have a predetermination. So the predetermination is the method. Again and again, you come back to the center line. So that's why how we, through practice meditation, how we develop the predetermination. So it's like this, when you observe the sensation or whatever the primary mental object, when the mind go here and there, and maybe it is a very beautiful thoughts come regarding your past or the future, and you are so comfortable to be there, but now you determine yourself, when you start to practice meditation during this time period, I am going to practice this meditation technique this long. So that determination will help you to come back. It doesn't matter whatever you meet on the way, you are ready to give up and you come back. So preconditioned mind make you more disappointed. So you think before you practice meditation, you think, oh, everything going to become kind of like once you close your eyes, tranquility mind and calmness, and everything going to become so peaceful, no sound around you, so kind of like that. But once you close your eyes, what happens? Your mind start to go roller coaster. And then that what you condition not going to happen. So then you are disappointed. You become unhappy. And then you struggle in yourself. So that is not the way to practice. Predetermination will help you to be in the primary mental object. Be with that. So that's why mental preparation is, even for the in day-to-day life. So whatever things that you are going to do, rather than having preconditioned mind, bring the predetermination. How you want it to be, how you want to finish it, how you want to become, and what you want to become, and when you want to become like this. So like that, then you are capable to take many different paths to reach to that final destination. So that change itself help you to develop yourself. Another thing is that when you determine, this is the very key important part, when you determine, when you have the predetermination, before the change happens, you know what kind of change you want. So that's how when we are in our Buddhist tradition, we always, out of all the meritorious activities, we always wish the liberation, Nibbana. So that is our ultimate goal. And we know what we want. So we know that whatever out of this change, what we want. Same like in day-to-day life, you have to practice it with your ordinary life also. When you look for a change, first you should know what kind of change should happen to you. In that way, you become more disciplined and it brings more clarity to yourself. And then whatever the the hard times come to you, you are capable to handle that. Why? Because you know why this happened, and you know what are the results that you can gain. Otherwise, when the change happens, if you try to go with that all the time, if you don't have very clear awareness, it's going to become very difficult. So in the basic level, as ordinary people, for us, from the beginning, have the free determination and know what the change you want. And then work for that, little by little, little by little. So that's the mental practice. Rather than having preconditioned mind, bring the predetermination. And socially. So remember, you can't do it just by yourself. You need the community around this, Sangha, the friends around this to move forward with the same kind of practice. Look at yourself, what you can do by yourself. You can't do anything. Always you need other people. It doesn't matter for profitable things or unprofitable things. For wholesome actions or unwholesome actions. In the conventional level, for our development, for our growth, always we need people around us. So then it is your responsibility to have right people around you. That doesn't mean you have to reject. No, you don't need to reject other people. Let them to be in their place. But when a situation comes, you should know to whom to call, to which person to call. Like as example, when critical situation comes, if there is a fire, emergency situation, maybe you don't call to your friends. First you call 911. You don't know who going to come. You may never met that people. But why you do that way? Because you know maybe better than your friends. They are very professional to handle that situation. So like that in this spiritual development, always you need people around you, right people around you, good people around you that keep practicing, and at the same time, sometimes that some kind of knowledge, wisdom have better than you. So then it depends person to person. But always you have to remember as a principle, you can't go this journey just by yourself. So then build up little by little. There are, in this world during this time, there are a lot of beautiful people. So then it is up to you to gain that. And I give some extra information for that. Don't look just people. You're not going to find them like that way. It's kind of like a more mental connection. It's a kind of like you connect with the higher vibration. So then uplift your thoughts to a higher level of vibration. So that's why in the very first level, when you know what is the change that you want, what happened, your mind already start to change the vibration, change the frequency. So in that level, what happens? You are capable to connect with the same kind of frequency around you. So that's very necessary. So then when you start to think about meditation, it may be that the help not going to come just by only people. Maybe suddenly you go to YouTube and maybe you see a very informative video about your subject. Or maybe you find a very good audio book. Or maybe you find some kind of book that very important and give the basic informations to yourself. So it always happened to me in my life. It always happens. And it never can, sometimes I met the people in person like that, but sometimes I found informations through many other ways. And that information was exactly the information that I was keep looking. So it helped me to shift, to it grow to different level. So then always remember that you need that. So, but it is there already. It's already there. And maybe it is here before we come here. It's already waiting and sitting there. But only thing is, if you don't uplift your frequency, vibration, your mind to higher level, you can't catch it. You can't catch it. So then it is up to you to bring your mind to that level. And social and development have that environment, networking people, and gather the information, connecting to the information will help you to develop your growth. Another thing is the spiritual growth, spiritual development, spiritual strength. So that is where the important part is the discipline. So the discipline is not a punishment. It is a reward to yourself. It is an investment to yourself. And as you know, maybe when you work, you know there is a certain kind of amount of salary go to social security. No, but it going to come back to you later. So kind of like that. Sometimes when maybe it is a few dollars for today, sometimes it is very difficult for you. But by the time, it will help you to develop some kind of security. So like that, being disciplined is a very key point when it comes to spiritual development. Spiritual development, even the conventional development, even it doesn't matter whatever the field, this is the basic fundamental quality of life. Without being disciplined, you can't become a better person, period. Don't try to argue about it. It doesn't work. So that's the thing. So then, if you look for any spiritual development, even maybe practicing meditation, maybe you do chanting, or maybe you do some other spiritual practice, that doesn't mean though you want to do, you can do whatever you want, and the very next moment you go into the shift to a spiritual mindset and develop. It's not going to happen. So then basically, whatever the discipline life, person to person difference, maybe. So then according to you, somehow according to your, that's why when you determine the change you want, according to that change that you want, your disciplinary code different. Maybe I determine regarding something and the change I want. So then whatever the discipline I practice, you can't practice. Fundamentally, there are certain disciplines we practice, but when it comes to deeper spiritual practice, you have to remember within yourself, you are the one who know how you need to be disciplined. You know that. If you look very carefully, you know what are the things that you have to be disciplined. So start to develop that. So once you have this preparation, physical preparation, and develop some kind of physical energy and gain the necessary rest and have that energy, and the mental preparation, rather than pre-conditioned mind, you go into predetermination and recognize what is the change you want. And the social preparation, you gain you uplift yourself, your mental frequency to a higher level. It naturally happens when you determine what is the change you want. So once you have that, and all the material physical things around you start to tune to different vibration, and all the stars in this universe start to tune to that level. So that is how it is. And then the spiritual preparation, discipline. You don't need to go into deeper wisdom or some other deeper, difficult level of practice. Basically, start to be disciplined yourself. Once you have that preparation, remember that all parts. So once you have that preparation, and then the very next level, that the practice. So then the preparation itself not going to make you a better person the very next day. So then the practice. So you have to consciously interfere and continue again and again and again and again. So then when it comes to practice, and that also change according to the change you want. So that's why when you come to meditation, you should know why you have to practice meditation. So in that way, it will help you to understand how to practice and what to practice. So the practice part, it different person to person, and maybe some people can do it better than us. Some people need more training, and some people need more basic level of explanations, and some people no need that much. So like that, some people need a very tranquility level to calm down their mind, and then from there they need to go to step by step higher. And some people directly can go to vipassana, and some people combine this both, tranquility meditation, vipassana meditation, they can bring this both. It's different person to person. But it is up to you. When you keep practice, you know how it develop again and again and yourself. And the third one is reflection. So you have to look again yourself, and you have to detach from you and observe you and see what's the change happening in you. So that, because when it comes to that change, remember there are two things. We have this cosmetic change that's so strong, and this mind is so smart. Your mental formations, your sanskara, your cankers, our this habitual patterns, the world itself, it is so strong and so smart. And sometimes this cosmetic change, we all know, sometimes we go through kind of like a very mad, very difficult, hard time period, but we can appear like a saint, like yogis, like part of the Buddha, and no one can see. It's everybody, oh, look at, how calm, but inside, it's boiling like a, volcano. That's a cosmetic change. Look at the people. They appear like the angels, but inside demon. That's how this is, And sometimes the angels, appear like demons and it look like demons, but inside angel. So this cosmetic change, it happened to us. It's a kind of like it's deeply somehow that how this habitual pattern, this consciousness want to hold it to the habits. They don't want it. It doesn't want to change the true nature. That's why it come like animals. Look at animals, like owls. Like certain animals, like butterflies. Sometimes like snakes, like rattlesnakes. In the sand, you can't see because it has ability to blend with the nature. There are some animals, they can live in trees. You can't see it because it look like a tree branch, tree leaves. So we the same. We have ability to blend with the greed, hatred, jealousy, anger, but no one can see that. We kind of look like a human, but it is not a human inside. Look at the world, so we can see that. So then how we know that? Are we really into the change or not? That's why we need the reflection. Because when we reflect on ourselves again and again, again and again, we can see that ourselves, oh, this is just the cosmetic change. And then that recognition itself transforms you to have the critical change. Critical change, not easy. So that's why you need practice. That's why you need this knowledge. That's why you need this background of understanding. But it is possible. It's possible. So rather than the cosmetic change, gain this critical change completely. Don't hold it to the past. Bring the newness and be a person, ability to change. That change always need to go towards more higher level rather than wherever you are. So then it doesn't matter from which direction it come, from which form it come, from which time it come, because it's more higher level than this. Then you jump into it. So that ability bring out of this all the meditation practice. So then just imagine that when it comes to meditation practice, it is just not just you closing your eyes and just observing inhalation, exhalation. This change create inside you. This all the information I break down part by part. But when you come to practice, completely this happen as a package. So then, if you continue the practice little by little, little by little, so by the time your inner growth happens, your inner characters start to change to more higher version. So if you don't change that by predetermination, if you don't change it with conscious interference, what will happen? You always bound to this worldly nature. You will change, but it's like you caught into the current of the water, and you have no way to escape from that. So whichever the direction the current move, you will go into that direction. So we don't need that kind of change. Why? Because we are more capable to gain more better way of journey in this lifetime. So then have this and develop it yourself. And then by the time when you die, you don't die empty. You die with that quality in your mind. And then whatever the quality you hold when you die, you're going to come back with that quality. That's the nature of the world. That's the nature of the world. So then you're born with that quality, predetermination. And then you develop yourself again and again, step by step, and fulfilling, becoming better. More you going to become more higher version, more better version. And again and again, you develop in this sansaric journey, whatever the lifestyle you go through, whatever the environment, whatever the situation you go through, whatever the life you go through, you become more better, more better, more better. So by the time through this journey, you reach to the peak level, pinnacle of this journey. And that is what we call liberation. So that is when it comes to the Prince Siddhartha or the Buddha, that is what happened to him. That the Buddhahood that he determined to become a Buddha didn't happen overnight. Through the sansaric journey, that the predetermination developed himself, he went through many, as you know, through the Jataka stories, you may heard that he went through many lives, and he went through many events, situations. But all the time, end of that situation, he became more better. So then, by the time he reached to his final goal. So like that, that journey available for you also. So then, during this time, whatever that you do in your day-to-day life, have yourself predetermination. And be very clear with the change you want. And prepare yourself physically, mentally, socially, spiritually. And then you will see, rather than this worldly cosmetic change, you bring the critical change to yourself. And that is the day you gain total satisfaction. And that is how you gain the ultimate liberation of the Nibbana. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring attention to your body, please, and scan head to toes yourself and say, So Pateva, oh, may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So bring attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area. Deeply and gently breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. When it happens through the sensation, recognize it, do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward, visualize yourself and send it as a light. Your backside, your left side, and to your right side. Downward, and upward. To all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chami sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya imaya dhamma nudhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribundhisami idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless you.